So we're up to Tes Zayin Amid Beis, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 lines from the bottom. In the middle of the line, Amarav Krus Badoi. This is one of the most famous, most famous lines in all of Shas Bavli. You're all familiar with it, but the explanation of it is not so pashut. Amarav Krus Badoi Rabbi Yochanan. Shloisha Svarim Niftachim Rosh Hashanah. There are 3 books opened up in Rosh Hashanah in the Beis Din Shel Maila. Echad Shel Rishayim Gemurim, one for complete Rishayim. The Echad Shel Tzadikim Gemurim, and one for Tzadikim Gemurim. The Echad Shel Beinanim, and one Beinanim. Tzadikim Gemurim, Nichtavim Nechtavim La'alta L'chayim. Tzadikim Gemurim are written and signed immediately for life. Rishayim Gemurim, Nichtavim Nechtavim La'alta L'misa. In other words, these people don't even bother coming to shul on Yom Kippur. I mean, it's done, right? There's no Yom, to these people, there's no purpose of Yom Kippur because the deal has been sealed. However, Beinonim Tluyim V'oimdim. People who are somewhere in the middle, they're Tluyim V'oimdim, May Rosh Hashanah by Yom Kippur. They're in a state of suspended animation from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Zachu, if they're Zachu, Nichtafim L'chayim, Lo Zachu Nichtafim L'misa. And we bring Pesukim. Am Rabavin, Ma'ikro, what's the pasuk? Yimachim is sefer chayim, im tzadikim al yikosefu. What does that mean? Yimachim is sefer, it's a sefer shel rishayim. Erase me from the sefer, that refers to the sefer of rishayim, gemurim. Chayim, it's a sefer shel tzadikim, right? That's the sefer of tzadikim, life. Im tzadikim al yikosefu, it's a sefer shel beinanim. Rav Nachum Yitzchak, he has a different source. Vim ayin, says Moshe Rabbeinu to Kodesh Baruch Hu, if you don't forgive Klal Yisrael, machini no mesifrecha, erase me from your book. Asher Kasafta and Moshe Rabbeinu was not mentioned in Pashtus Tetzaveh. Machenina zeh sifrin shel Rishayim, mesifrecha zeh sifrin shel Tzadikim. Asher Kasafta is sifrin shel Beinanim. So what does it mean Tzadik Gomer? What does it mean Rosh Gomer? What does it mean Beinanim? So what does Rashi say? What does Rashi say? It says Rashi, Shloisha Sfarim on the Sefer Zichron shel Ma'aseh Briyos, all the Sefer of the Briyos right? Liyayim we'll see that Rishoyim Gemurim is Rubam Avoinos. A person has a majority of Averis. Beinanim will be Mechza Mechza. So L'chayra, what it means is Tzadikim Gemurim means you have more Averis than more mitzvahs than Averis. Rosh Hashanah has more Averis than mitzvahs, and the Beinani is exactly the same. Mechza Mechza. Now it's hard to think that how many people are exactly the same, right? It's hard to fathom what it means that they're exactly the same. It's really hard to fathom what exactly that means. The Torah even says, "Stam a person really is what is a Beinanim." Most of the people in the world are Beinanim. Most of the people are world are Beinanim. Now the problem with this is, you look at the world and you see Tzaddik v'Raloi, v'Rasha v'Toivloi. You see Tzaddikim who are suffering in the world. You see Rishoyim who are living the life of Riley. And l'chayra, what does it say over here? It's mashma from over here that you know what? That it's Tzaddik was given l'chayim and the Russian Lamisa. So it doesn't appear, it's not so pashut exactly how to learn Pshat, what's going on over here. So if you see Tosfos, guys, Tosfos says very, 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 if you look at Tosfos, oh gosh, Yomi Rosh Hashanah, Yomi Rosh Hashanah, just 1 second. I forgot to put the thing back on. Okay, we'll pick it up over here. Anyway, so Hashem Hashem, he goes ahead and he again, he puts to death and he brings to life and he brings people up and he brings people up. That is the and he brings people up. So that so again. This is not speaking about Rosh Hashanah. This is speaking about La'asad Lavai L'Yayim Adin, where after Tchias HaMesim, and after this time, what's going to occur? The Tzadikim Nechtam La'alter, the Rishoyim are finished. Beinanim will spend a short time in Gehenim, and they'll be brought up. Okay. Beisol says for Rav Chesed, right? And it says for Rav Chesed, Mate Klape Chesed. That means that Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to tip the scales, right? And therefore, the Beinanim don't go to Gehenim at all. He's going to tip the scales, and the Beinanim do not go to what? to Gehenim at all. So he argues on Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai says Beinim go to Gehenim, come right up, and he says that Beis Hillel says no, the Beinim won't even go to Gehenim. David says what? A hafti kiyishma as koili, right? David kol hapasha kula. I was poor, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved me. Okay, so this is a Poishe. Now, who are these people? Poishe Yisrael begufan. People who are Poishe Yisrael begufan. We'll see what that means. Poishe umas ha'olam begufan, and people Poishe umas of the nation who go with the guf. Yordim legehenim. V'nidim b'shnei masachaydesh. They'll be there what for 12 months. La'achar shnei masachaydesh gufan kolav nishmasim misrefes. Their body is finished and the soul is burnt. A wind scatters their ashes under what? The feet of tzaddikim. Shenemar, but the pasuk says, you'll trample on the Rishoyim, there'll be ashes underneath the feet of the tzaddikim. People who are minim, amisaris, people who give people over to the government. Vapikarsim, shekafu b'toira, ushekafu b'tchias hamesim, ushepirshu midarchet tzibur, ushenasli richitim be'eretz chayim. They go ahead, they put fear of people, they make people scared. Ushechatu v'hechtu es rabbim, they cause machtir the rabbim. Kegoin Yeravim ben Nevat v'chaveirav, like Yeravim ben Nevat and his chaverim. Yordum legehenim, v'nidim bo l'doidei doiris. They're going to go there and they'll be judged forever. Shneimar v'yotzu v'ro b'pigrei anoshim apoishim bi. And they'll go out and they'll see the pigrei anoshim, those are the dead people, or the people who rebelled against me. Right? Gehenim kolam, v'hineinim kolam. Gehenim will end, but they won't end. Shneimar b'tzuram levalei shaol. The tzura, they'll go down, will be longer than shaol, which is Gehenim. Why did they do this? Because they went ahead and they led to the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. Shneimar mizvul loy, right? His zvul vein zvul el Beis Hamikdash. Shneimar Bonei Benisi Beis Zvul. Shlomo Melech said that he built, when he said, I built a house in Zvul for you, Hashem. Chana says regarding them, Hashem yichatu meriva of Hashem. He goes ahead, and those who mechatu, who shepherd with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, meriva, they'll be scattered. Okay. So Amr Rav Yitzchak bar Ravin, upneim donim l'shula kederi. These people who go down, they come up, they're black, their face like the bottom of a pot. Who are these people? The handsomest people in Mechuzah, right? Rabbi had instance with people of Mechuzah. They'll be called the people of Gehenim. This is a very, very kind of scary Gemara. But so I'll give you a little nechama. If you look at the Taisvis Kakafta, okay, the Kakafta Leiman of Tefillin, we'll see that, but that means soon. Look at the end of Taisvis, the Chol Hani, about three and stuff in the end of Taisvis, guys. The Chol Hani Shmaitza, all this sugya speaking, b'shalo yasa tshuva, if you don't do tshuva. Aval asa tshuva amina b'yuma, the tshuva toila umisim makekas. The tshuva is toila, and if you do terrible affairs, at the worst, the misa will go ahead and be mamarik, it'll cleanse the people. So as long as there's tshuva, again, without tshuva, this Gemara, I was crying when I read this Gemara today. I had tears in my eyes. And then I had underlined on the Daf Taisvis, it said Baruch Hashem. So again, tshuva. This is, you should learn this Gemara before your Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, right? Okay, tshuva is okay. Vama Rava. Okay, we said so. Rava said. Now, why did going back over to Brisa? Beis Shammai said what? That these people, the Beinim, go to Gehenim for a short period of time, and Beis Hillel said no. Beis Hillel said they HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Rav Chesed, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu tips the scales for them, and they don't go to Gehenim at all. Okay, so what does the Gemara say? Beis Hillel oimrim v'amamar Beis Hillel oimrim for Rav Chesed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a lot of Chesed, mata klape Chesed, and therefore he tips the scales towards Chesed. Now he asked the question: what does he do with the pasuk of Beis Shammai that we brought at the top of the daf, the top line? It's mashma that they're going to get in fire. They're going to be like a henna, to be purified, refined, like the zav, like the kesef. So what does Beis Hillel do with the pasuk of Beis Shammai? It says, that pasuk is people who are poishe begufa b'Yisrael. Who are they? Poishe Yisrael begufan, right? You said they have no takana. So how are you telling me over here? Poishe Yisrael begufan have a takana. says, "Ki lesle takana b'roi v'avoinais." When they don't have the takana, if the majority of they have majority of averos, and they have this aver among them. Hacha mechza avoinais mechza squares. This guy's half and half. This bunami oven the Paisha Yisrael begufan. And among the half, they have the avera that will qualify and say Paisha Yisrael begufan. That's among. It's half and half, but that's the one. So let's sagulate the lav the havoisa ashlisha be'esh. V'im lav the rav chesed matei chesed. Right. It's so this person, if he doesn't go to Gehenim, right, because he has half and half, then he'll be rav chesed matei klapi chesed. So l'chayra, we have different categories. If a person has roiv averis, and among them is Paisha Yisrael begufan, he's going down for the count. If the person does not have not nechza, doesn't have Paisha Yisrael begufan, Kadosh Baruch Hu will go ahead and tilt the scale. If, however, he has Paisha Yisrael begufan among his half and half, then he'll go to Gehenim, then come up. Okay, those are the madrigas. Again, this is all if he doesn't do tshuva. This is all if he doesn't do tshuva. In love, Rav Chesed matik chapik chesed. David says hafti kiyishma. That's what we said. Darish Rava, my dechsiv hafti kiyishma Hashem. I love when Hashem hears my voice. Amar Knesset Yisrael Fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rebbeinu Shalom. Eimasai ani ahuva lefnecha. When I'm beloved before you, bisman shata shemei kol tuchnoi. When you listen to my tachnunim, the loisi really Yeshia. I was poor and He saved me. Afa pisha dola ani in a mitzvahs. Even though I'm poor for mitzvahs, li nohal Yeshia. That you should go ahead and save me. So this is the Beinanim. These are the groups that they don't have enough mitzvahs. Nevertheless, the Kodesh Baruch Hu saves them by for Gehenna. Rashi says by flipping the scale on the side. Now, who is Paisha Yisrael? Who is Paisha Yisrael? So Amar Rav says Rav karkafta d'leimona tefillin. It's a karkafta is a skull that doesn't put on tefillin, and Paisha Yumas Olam begufan is Amar Rav is ba'avera. Those people who are involved in arayas. Now, I saw something today that Pasha you learn that people who don't put on tefillin shel roish, that's Paisha Yisrael begufan. It's a very, very obviously you see a very, very severe avera because we know what by putting on the chayk of putting on tefillin, what it means, and the ois of tefillin, you're making a statement. By not putting it on, you're making a statement. So if you look at the Rabbeinu Chananel on the side. It's towards the top. I'd say it's towards the top. It says, listen, he has a following gersa. Ubechlalam oven Paisha Yisrael begufan, vehein karkafta, dleimonach tefillin, mei oilam, va'afilu pam achas, nidunya begehenim, yud beis chaydesh. He had the gersa that you didn't put on tefillin one time in your life. If you didn't put on tefillin one time in your life, then you need them for Gehenna. So the Chabatskis, you hear what they're doing, guys? You think they're putting it on one time, right? They put it on one time, guys, right? It's an amazing thing. That one time is going to save them. Maybe that's the Messiah of Chabad, I was thinking, Maybe that's the Messiah of Chabad. But it's interesting. He had this girsa. Fascinating. What is that? The Avera, look at that. Amarav, the last thesis on the page. Amarav ba'Avera ba'Aroyos. Sheben Noach Muzar Olav Kedisa Perik Arba Misas. Ben Noach is Muzar in the Arba Misas in Aroyos. Ushenasnu Chitim be'Eretz Chayim. We said that people who put fear into the land of life. Amarav Chista Zeh Parnis Hamatel Em Yisrael Al Tziba Shol Hashem Shemayim. It's the leader of the community. He puts too much fear into the people. Shol Hashem Shemayim. Amrav Yudam Arav, Kol Parnas Hamatel Emi Yisrael Tziba Shlo Shem Shemayim. Any Parnas who puts Emi Yisrael in Tziba Shlo Shem Shemayim, Ein Roya ben Talmud Chacham. He won't see a son as a Talmud Chacham. Shenemar L'chein therefore Yereu Anoshim Lo Yireh. The people, since they fear him, Lo Yireh Kol Chachmei Lev. He will not see Chachmei Lev among his children. He won't see a Chacham Lev. Remember, Beisil said Rav Chesed Mata Klapi Chesed again. Why did Beis Shammai say they go to Gehenna for an hour, come back up? This is Beinanim. Why does Beis Hillel say No, Kodesh Baruch Hu is Matakabe Chesed. As long as they don't have the Avera of Paishe Yisrael Begufan, as long as they don't have that Avera, Mechza al Mechza, you're going to go ahead, you're going to tilt the scales. Now, there's two ways to tilt the scale. Either to push down this one, or lift up the other one, right? Which way is it? Okay. Hechi Avid, how does the Kodesh Baruch Hu go ahead and tilt the scales? He puts down the side of Chesed this way. This is the side of Schusim. Shenemar, Yoshev Yirachamenu Yichbosh Avonisenu. Right, so Yichbosh, it'll outweigh our Avonis. So you're pushing down over here, guys. But you're pushing down over here to outweigh the Avonis over there. You're pushing down the Schusim side to outweigh the Avera side. He lifts up the sides of the Avera like this. So you're pushing down. In other words, you're not pushing down this by lifting up the Avera side. It's pushing down the Mela, the Schus side. Remember, we're speaking about a Maznayim that is old Maznayim. He lifts up Averis and therefore he overlooks other Averis. This is a third way, guys. This disagrees with Beis Shammai. It disagrees with Beis Hillel. You know what he does? As you do an Avera, he's Ma'aver Rishon Rishon. So by taking it away, it's always going to be tilted that way in the side of the Schus. You know, it's like it's a fix. You know, he always taken off like we say, Ma'aver Rishon, right? We say by the Slichas. By going ahead and being Ma'aver Rishon Rishon, it's always going to be tilted to the side of Schus by taking away the Averis. The Chen Hi Amida, and this is the Mida of Yud Gimel Midas that a Kadosh Baruch Hu works. Okay, now, Amar Rava, the oven atzmai ein nimchak. However, just because he goes ahead and removes it, it doesn't mean it's not there. If a person continues to sin, it will reappear. The ikar ruba avonos machshev b'hadayu. There's other averis. This would be considered among them. So Amar Rava, and this is one of my favorite chazal in all of Shas. Kol mavral midosav. Anyone who does not hold is mavral midosav. Ma'avir le'ah kol peshav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes and looks away from all this averis. So let's see Rashi on this. Ma'avral midosav, says Rashi. She'ena medagdik limdoid mida limitzar my. He's not medagdik to go ahead measure for measure to hold a grudge. Those who mitzar him. Umeniach midosav. He leaves his mida of holding a grudge. He doesn't. Eimavir ala oichlin. Right. In other words, you don't piss by, so therefore you don't. You're not marvel. It's nothing. So to expand upon it, it's not limited to people. Not limited to people who begrudge you. It's an ability to go against your base nature when your nature is to do a certain thing. A person in shul irks you all the time. He irks you. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to feel about it? I'm speaking from my own experience. I once heard a share from Rabbi David Kaplan. He's a Rebbe in Ur Sameach. He said that the more he's in shul, he feels the more he's in shul, the less it has to do with davening, and the more it has to do with tikkun amidas. the more in shul, the less it has to do with davening, the more it's to do with attacking your midas. You should go ahead and improve upon your midas. It's true. And your midas, midaisav is your midas, is your base nature. And a Kadosh Baruch Hu, what's the schar? HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks away also. Ma'avir le'ah kol peshav, says Rashi. Ein midas adin medag machrei, and the midas adin ela menachta v'halaches. In other words, midah keneged midah. You go ahead and you go ahead and you're mevata. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mevata also. Unbelievable. You're mevata. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mevata as well. It's such a powerful lesson for improving our lives. Kol ha'mavra midosav ma'avir le'ah kol peshav. Shnemar noisein oven v'oiver al pesha. Lemi noisa oven to us, Kadosh Baruch Hu forgive. Lemi sha'over al pesha. Someone who overlooks an avera that was done to him. Rav Huna Brei Yeshua Chalish. Rav Huna, he got sick. This is an example of being Ma'aval Midaisav. Oh, Rav Papa l'shilei bei. Rav Papa went to see him. Chazi the Chalish le'omer. Rav Papa took one look at Rav Huna Brei Yeshua and he saw that he wasn't long for this world. So Amalahu, he told the people there, Sivisu leizav disa. Go ahead, prepare his seidel derech. In other words, get his tachrichin ready. That's what he said. The slave in the end is pach. He got better. Rav Huna got better. So Havi Michsef Rav Papa l'Michsei. Rav Papa was partially embarrassed to see him. So Amrulei Maichazis, the people who were there said to Rav Huna, "What did you see? You were close to death." So Amrulei, he told them, "Einachi Havi." He's right. Rav Papa was right. I was about to die. Amrulei Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hayav le'mukim b'milei. Since you didn't go ahead and stand on your, on your grounds, So I didn't either. Again, this is the example, an application of being Marval Midaisav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Mava and saved Rav Huna ben Yeshua's life. Shnemar Noise Ovan Vava Pesha, an example. The pasuk continues, right? The pasuk says, Mikel Kamoicha Noise Ovan Vava Pesha, L'She'eris Nachalasai. So the last words of the pasuk, towards the, not the last words, but the She'eris Nachnasai, that this works for the She'eris, the leftovers of his Nachla. But not for all his Nachla. On the base. In other words, this is this thing does not work for everybody, but it works for Lami Shemesim Atzmoi Kishirayim. He says that not everyone does it work for. Only for the people who do it for the right reasons. Rashi brings that Lami Shemesim Atzmoi Kishirim, that when you make it Kishirayim, Rashi doesn't say anything, but he says Tzaddik. But I saw that in Yaakov explains like this. Sometimes we're Mavral Midoisav not for the right reason. Let's say the person is beneath us. We feel that it's not to go ahead and lower ourselves to go ahead and have anything to do with this person. No, it has to be that it's Machmas Anivus. It has to be that you're going ahead and changing Machmas Anivus because of your Anivus that you illustrate. So Rav Huna says, Ksiv Tzadik, Hashem b'chol derachav. Hashem is right in all derachav. Mashma is very exact. Hashem b'chol derachav midas adin. Uksiv v'chassid b'chol ma'asav. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a chassid b'chol ma'asav. So is there a tzaddik or a chassid? Tzaddik would mean midas adin, and chassid means l'fnei meshuras adin. Says the Gemara, b'tchila tzaddik. In the beginning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges you exactly. U'b'sleif chassid, and in the end, he wanted HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a chassid. It says judged by David HaMelech. This is Vayasu David Tzedakah Mishpat, right? Vayasu David Mishpat Tzedakah. So first, he would judge the people. And if they didn't have money to pay, he would give money to pay. So it's because he's emulated the midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That first you judge, and then comes the kindness. But first you get the judgment. Rabbi Eliezer Rami Ksiv Ulecha Hashem Chesed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Chesed. Ksiv Kiyata Teshalim Leish B'Masayu. Mashma, you're very exact. You're going to pay according to the person's actions. Says the Gemara, initially it's according to the person's actions. Will besoif l'chav Hashem Chesed. Ilfa v'imiloi ilfa. Another say was ilfa Rami. Kesiv it says v'rav Chesed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Rav Chesed. Kesiv emes. It also says that what that is emes. Now Chesed means Yilafnei Meshus. Chesed emes is emes. It says b'tchila v'emes will besoif Rav Chesed. So I saw a beautiful pshat in this. I want to share with you. If I could find it. Here we go. We can see this? Yeah, we can see it?
Yep.
Okay, so look, what does it say? B'tchila v'emes l'b'soif Rav Chesed, Pirish b'nei Yeshua, the Rosh Hashanah, hu b'din v'emes. In Rosh Hashanah, that's the emes. You get the midas, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges according to the din. Ubi Yom Kippur, it's for Rav Chesed, Birachamim. And in Yom Kippur, it's Rav Chesed, Birachamim. The Sholosh Esrei Midos Nemru Yom Kippur. We say the 13 Midos on Yom Kippur. And the 13 those are the 13 attributes of Rachamim. The Chen Kasav B'Sefer HaKodesh, the Rosh Hashanah Hu Yom Adin, the Yom Kippur Hu Yom HaRachamim. That Rosh Hashanah is Yom Adin and Yom Kippur is Yom HaRachamim. Now, this is very interesting because if I looked up the Pnei Yeshua says something that I shared with you once before. This is fantastic insight. He said that when you have a court case, so you have all the dayanim around you, they're all there. So you have these people coming in front of him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sitting in the Baal Chesed. He's got all the malachim, all the mekachagim, all the prosecuting malachim. This guy did this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and did this and this and this and this. How could a Kodesh Baruch Hu go against this Torah and tell him, yeah, don't worry about it, it's okay? That would be a steer b'nei Yobein HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what does the Kodesh Baruch Hu do? He waits. There's a day, Yom Echad. There's a day, the Chazal say, guys, it was Erev, it was Voike Yom Echad. Says Rashi, that Malachim are only created on day number 2. So when it says that, instead of saying Yom Rishon, it says Yom Echad to illustrate that's the day Hashem is alone. That's the day That's the day that Hashem is alone. Now, that's the day that Hashem is alone. And it says there's another day that Hashem is alone. The Medrash says Yom Kippur. So very geschmack. On Yom Kippur, there's no one else around. On Yom Kippur, there's only him. All the Malachei categories have gone away. Once Hashem is alone, but Rav Chesed, of course, everything's going to go. That's the Pnei Yeshua. Guys, isn't that Gavaldik? Is it Gavaldik? That's it. That's the explanation. MS, he's got all the Dayanim around. He can't go against the Torah. Once they're not there, Yom Echad, Yom Rishon, Yom Kippur, the same thing. Yom Miuchad, then a Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem Levada, Hashem's alone. Guess what? You are good. So as I Pnei Yeshua, that's what's beautiful Pnei Yeshua, and that's why comes Yom Kippur, Baruch Hashem, we have it. Okay. Where are we? Vayavar Hashem al Pona Vayikra. We're speaking about the Yugim Midos, of course. Without this pasuk, I would not say it. Kadosh Baruch Hu wrapped himself in a talus like a shliach tziva. The herald of Moshe Sefer Torah, right? Sefer Tefillah. He showed Moshe how to daven. Amaloi calls Mashi Yisrael chaytim. Anytime Bnei Yisrael a chayta yasu lefana kaseda azeh. Go ahead and do the seder of the Yugim Midos. I need Michael him. I'll go ahead and I'll be Michael them. Hashem. Anihu koydim shiachta adam. I'm the Hashem before he sins. Anihu la'acha shiachta adam. And I'm the same Hashem after. So what do you mean? Why does Hashem need mercy before you sin? Makes no sense, guys. Right? If you didn't sin, what do you need mercy for? You need mercy after the sin. You don't need mercy before the sin. So what does it mean? We judge a person according to what he is Asher Usham, like Ishmael. Rather than say, let him die now this way, and in other words, rather like Ben Sora Mora. So the Rachmanis is, we say Kasher Usham. So we don't say Hashem knows what's going to be. So we don't say, well, I know what's going to happen, like the Ben Sora Mora, let's kill him now, but he has Rachmanis even before it happens because he knows what's going to happen. So that's the Rachim before. Kel Rachim B'chanon, Amar Rav Yehuda, Bris Krusu the Shlosh Esrei Midash. She'enu Chayzeres Reikam. A person who says it won't come back empty-handed. Shneimar Hine Enochi Koyes Bris. I made a bris. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Gedolet Tshuva, greatest Tshuva, Shemikras Gezar Dina Shaladam. Because Tshuva goes ahead and it rips up the Gezar Din against the person. Shneimar Hashman Leva Adam Hazeh. Right? Hashman is the lotion of shamin, the fat. Hashman Leva Adam Hazeh. Va'oznav Hachbeid Ve'einav Hasha. His heart is fat, his ears are hard, he doesn't listen anymore. And the Eina of Hasha, his eyes are closed. And here, the Eina of Baznav Yishma, Levava Yavin, the Shav Rafaloi. So then he's going to go do tshuva and he'll be healed. So what does that mean? Maybe it says that he's going to be healed. Maybe it's before the Gazardin. How do you know it's after the Gazardin? In other words, Rabbi Yochanan, guys, we're going to ask a lot of questions. Rabbi Yochanan says that tshuva helps even after Gazardin. Again, that's very Gedol tshuva shemakras Gazardina shaladam, right? So he brings a pasuk that says v'rafalei Kadosh Baruch Hu he'll go ahead and he'll be healed. He'll do tshuva and he'll be healed. How do you know that tshuva and being healed is speaking after the Gemara Din? Maybe it's before the Gemara Din. That's the question that he asked. So Amalei, so Abaye told Rav Papa v'rafalei kasiv. It says he'll be healed. Now, in order to be healed, you have to be sick. So Ezer Dava Shetzarcha Fua, Aviyayim Zeg Gazardin. If there's no Gazardin yet, he's not sick yet. Meisivei, we're going to ask we ask a bunch of questions on Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says that tshuva helps for Gazardin, that Gedol tshuva that rips up the Gazardin of a person. Meisivei. It says Hashav Ben Sayim. If you want to do tshuva between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, Michael Noi. Loi Shav Ben Sayim, he doesn't do tshuva. Afilu heavy called Ele Nevoyas Shaboilim. He brings the best rams from the place called Nevoyas in the world. Right. So what do we see? Once Yom Kippur was done, he's finished. Right. All the best rams in the world won't help. Kasha Rabbi Yochanan says Malay Kasha Ha B'Yachid Ha B'Tzibur. That we said an individual who does tshuva, that Yom Kippur won't be ripped up. But if it's Tzibur, if it's Shiva does tshuva, Rabbi Yochanan speaking about it Tzibur. If Tzibur does tshuva, they'll rip up the Gazar Din. Meisivei, Eini Hashem Elecha Ba, the eyes of Hashem, they look upon Eretz Yisrael. Eating with toiva, eating l'ra. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Eating with toiva kate. So when's it good? Harshahay Yisrael Rishayim Gemur and Rosh Hashanah. Let's say the Rishayim Gemur and Rosh Hashanah. Upaskol lehem geshanim what, and we say there's going to be very little rain that year. The Seif Chazur behem. In the end, they do tshuva. So you can't go ahead and air onto them because the Gzardin has been made already. What will he do? My reading is man will bring it down at the right time. So you won't have too much rain, but the rain you have will be at the right zman. The land that needs it. Everything goes according to its particular land. Itim l'ra, Kate. So what's an example of itim l'ra? Is how Yisrael tzaddik and gemur in Rosh Hashanah. Yisrael at tzaddik and gemur in Rosh Hashanah. Pascal leim geshamim merubim. They decided they won't have a lot of rain that year. The slave chazu behem. In the end, they chayzer. Liv chayz beheni yafshi. You can't go ahead and change it because Gazadin was made already. This is you got the kash already, guys. You see the Gazadin was made already, right? Ella, what do? Ella Gezeira Kadosh Baruch Hu. My reading will be goyza shel loy bizmana. You'll have a lot of rain. You just won't have the right time. Allah shenet tzrichlem on the land that doesn't need them. So what do you see? The bottom line is you see you can't change Gazadin. Kashan Rabbi Yochanan says l'toiva miyah lekor legazadina. And that's if you do tshuva, it will help. If you do tshuva, it will help v'loisef lahu, and you'll get more. So l'chayv you got a kasha. That's the end of the kasha. The toiva miyah lekor legazadina. Right? Why don't you rip with the gazadin? And it must be you can't rip with gazadin. And the Gemara shani hasam de'ef shebahachi. Pirish. If it's possible to go ahead and be mekayim everything, then you'll do it. So if I can be mekayim the gazadin and still reward the people who did tshuva, conversely, if I can keep the gazadin and punish the people who went off, I'll do that rather than go ahead and control alt delete, rather than to go ahead and restart the system again. Tashma, another kasha on Rabbi Yochanan. The pasuk says, Yordei hayom ba'niyos in kuf zayin in Tilim. Yordei hayom ba'niyos, they go down into the waters and ships. Right? The yoimu v'yamud ruach sora v'tormim galov and v'yitzaku Hashem. There's a I have it over here. I wanted to show you. Where do I have it? Nope. You can see that? Yeah?
Yes.
Yordi ayam ba'niyos oisim lach b'mayim rabim hema roi masei Hashem nefloisa v'mitzula v'yomer v'yamed ruach sa'ara comes v'teroimim galo of the lift up at a race yalu shemayim yerdu the hoimos, right? Nafsham b'roa, and I notice each one, I put this in because look at the little nuns in each one, right? Because there's little yuds in each one of these, okay? Okay. So let's see what we got now. Vayitzukol Hashem b'tzar lehem yardu l'Hashem chazdoi oiselem simonios. So you look, they made simonios, right? They put the signs between the right. Ke'achin v'rakim shebetayra. Just like you have an ach v'rak in the Torah, you have those nuns that I showed you. Loy melacha to tell you, saku koydem gzadin nenin. If they cry out before the gzadin, nobody answered. Saku lach gzadina in nenin. Kashan Rabbi Yochanan. You see that right? After gzadin, it's too late. Says the Gemara, Haninami ki yechidim dami. This is also like what? Like yechidim. This is also like yechidim, and there Rabbi Yochanan was speaking about what? About the rabbim. Okay. Toshma, Shola Beluria Hagiyaris is Rabbi Gamliel. Beluria the Giyaris is Rabbi Gamliel. Ksiv b'Toraschem, it says in your Torah, Ashla Yisa upon him, that Hashem doesn't show favoritism. Ksiv Yisa Hashem upon him, Hashem will show favoritism to you. So Nitfa Allah Rabbi Yossi HaKohen, who's going to deal with him? Rabbi Yossi HaKohen is going to go ahead and deal with Beluria. Amma Allah, he said to Beluria, she was a woman. Emshel Chamashal, Lama David Doimeh. Someone goes ahead and he has a claim against this person that the person owes him money. He owes him money. The Kavala is man b'fei Melech, and he says it's Kaveh is man to pay in front of the king. Okay, the Nishbelei b'chayei Melech, and even swears in the life of the king will pay up. He gives man v'lei paru, comes the time he didn't pay up. All the fires is a Melech, so the person who didn't pay up wants to appease the king. He swore in his life. The king says, you know what? My embarrassment, I'm Michael you. But lechu fayasis chavercha, go appease your friend who you didn't pay up, that you defaulted on the loan. So hachanami here as well. Kan baver shemin ad l'makom. Where does Hakadosh Baruch Hu say Yisapanav? I'll show you favoritism? That's baver shemin ad l'makom. And where do you say lo yisa? That's kan baver shemin ad l'chaverei. Right? All right. Then until what? So that's when I won't show you favoritism. Now what's the kasha? Till Rabbi Akiva came along, I'm an Aleph, and he said, Kan koydin g'zardin. That's before the g'zardin. Kan lacha g'zardin. And when does Hashem show you favoritism? That's before the g'zardin. After the g'zardin, he won't show you favoritism. Kasha and Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says, even after the g'zardin. How do you answer that up? Says the Gemara, Hachanami bi yachid. Right? Hachanami, it's also speaking about an individual rather than a tzibur. And we'll pick it up here tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.